John Wanoa here. It's Friday, the 19th of February 2016. Just an update with you on developments of 77 Cook Street in Auckland with my barrister. Text me yesterday to let me know we'll meet next week to discuss the full disclosure from Detective Natalie Flowerdew Brown. She's in Solomon Islands at the moment, mysteriously disappeared till the end of the year. Anyway, we're going to see what she has written in full disclosure of what happened here in my house when she arrested me. I must say illegally, without authority or seal from a court order of arrest. Anyway, I'm looking at it this way, that the police are a force unto themselves apart from the courts, and I'm finding out what they're really there for, not for the public but for their own private business, corporate, crown, as agents. However, we are in a serious situation between the police and myself on behalf of the chiefs, Taumata, of Te Marae in Waitangi. So those authorities from the Confederation of Chiefs and their tribes Hapu is where I'm legally standing, with the chiefs of all the Hapu in the country since the 3rd to the 6th of February 2016, the celebrations of Treaty Waitangi signing 1840. The Prime Minister John Key was not there. As usual, every year the government has to get a legal consent from that marae, from the chiefs of the original Hapu tribes, Te Marae. He failed to turn up. Regardless, an offer was made to him to come onto the marae. The trustees, however, are legal owners of the land. The Taumata, on the other hand, chiefs, Hapu, are the native owners, the real owners of all those lands in Waitangi blocks and Te blocks around that area. I have the original titles here, with one house on the whole of the Bay of Islands area of Ututonga title to the east coast on our land blocks there, Marangaroa land blocks, Hapu, Uetaha. Now, John Key has presented a problem for his government with his flag against this flag. And at the moment, the Secretary of Defence, the British UK military, is here visiting New Zealand. He's going to Auckland, Hamilton, Dunedin and Christchurch. Today I wrote him a letter. In an email, he's acknowledged it, that he's received it, and I had to redirect to another private email. You'll see that on my website, the Facebook site, on at least 3 or 4 or 5 of 66 Facebook websites. These are admissible as evidence in the High Court of Admiralty in London, where he comes from, but not here in New Zealand. So, I'm just saying, we have a strategic situation here. We have a native situation of land titles as against John Key's paper titles, or occupation titles, mortgage titles. So, this is the go between me waiting for an answer before the Secretary of Defence, British military, goes back, and I need him to answer to me and see if we can get a meeting. Michael Fallon, Right Honourable Michael Fallon, to have a meeting with me and the chiefs of all the Hapus, but represented by Ngāpuhi, Taumata, elders, and myself, their legal representative and legitimate title holder representative as the King William surrogate partner in business with the military. British UK military is our partner. Commercial, private company between us and the Hapu and the British Westminster Parliament government. Okay, so to you, Michael Fallon, watching this video, no doubt the British are watching every move I make on these lands with this flag. It is a Admiralty court-martial law of trade, commerce, trade, flag, jurisdiction all over the world, and someone's using it. I dare say the Pope is using it, the government here in New Zealand is using it, and the Queen is using it for usurping the 8-point star of St. Patrick's Church Order in Ireland, where I come from, my Cosgrove and Cosgrave ancestors on that side of the whakapapa or title holding, origins of inheritance to this flag and its 8 points of a star in the four corners of the earth. The blue you see in that flag is the sea, King of the Sea, Law of the Sea, and the King's Bench Court, Admiralty, Law of the Sea applies. Okay, Michael Fallon, I wrote you a letter to have a meeting with you on the treaty grounds with the chiefs up there as soon as possible before you go back. We have had our meetings, we have passed our upper house parliament, we have had our resolutions that are verbal in our agreement to raise the flag on the pole or the mast of your British ship on treaty grounds. We have made decisions to seize the land on the treaty grounds and your ship of Admiralty, court-martial, pole or mast with our flag and your flag, this flag, and the British flag on it. We have passed resolution verbally, and I'm writing it up in documents, and documents doctrines of discovery title, to have this flag raised on dry land up to the top of the pole. John Key's flag of the Union Jack is a War Veterans flag he wants to get rid of. We don't want to get rid of it. We want it on the rung where this one is sitting, Michael, and put this one on the top. We do not want another flag, especially the fern, is a copyright. Private business with the All Blacks rugby team and John Key's ideas about putting that up the top. It's not on. That's a threat to this commercial trading bank of England flag, and us, King William IV, jurisdiction, Constitution 1835, Declaration of Independence, flag sovereign authority. Okay, Michael, I'm talking on behalf of our chiefs here. On the Hapus, we had meetings for all of the Hapus in this country and their Taumata, elders, leaders, and their arataki and rangatahi and rangatiras around them. Our decisions were made unanimous to seize our land back and raise our flag, this flag, on your ship of Admiralty and seize the courts that it represents in mortgages, liens and loans that have run rampant under the Pope Francis jurisdiction of Vice Admiral, wherever he got that from. They're fighting now with ISIS, and Donald Trump and the Pope is politically at war. The Pope and his church and the Queen and their church of England is at war. That's what they came here for, war. This is a war flag. This is a terrorist pirate flag designed for pirates and terrorists by King William IV and us, the chiefs, warriors. Okay, that's why they do the haka, because we're warriors and we are at war with this flag on anyone tampering with our business of the Queen Victoria Trust and the crown jewels of Te Tii Marae and their flag. Michael Fallon. The government here in New Zealand has their own agenda for their private business, Crown Corporation under the Queen. This is the King, defaulted back in contract. Where the contracts come from is our business with you. So, I'm putting this video on record to the British military that you're obligated to us to protect us with this black strip you see on the middle of this flag going around the Red Cross. The smaller Red Cross of the big Red Cross is the 8 Kings, and the smaller Red Cross is the 4 Kings. King George III, the father of King George IV, King William IV, and King Ernest Augustus I. Those are the 4 kings of this 8-point star that we're concerned of the Admiralty blue colour of the sea in the 4 corners of the earth. 4 stars and that cross in the middle. This other bigger cross is the 8 kings. King George the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and King Ernest Augustus the 1st, and King William the 4th. Okay? Those are the 8 kings inside this big cross, and the 4 kings I just said here. The British Empire, the British Emperor, King William the 4th, Ireland, the 8-point star of St. Patrick's Church Order, and my family, the Cosgroves, and Jamie, Anna, Marie, Patrick Stewart, the Patrick family of this star is what we're claiming. Michael Fallon, here in New Zealand, where we believe we are the recipients of all of that trust, of Queen Victoria Trust, and all the missing money and gold that we're going to audit with you. That's why I want you to speak with us, because we have looming beside us a threat from the Queen herself, ISIS, Turkey, Israel, America, Saudi Arabia, and of course you, Britain, going that way when Russia wants to help us with their military. We have that option open to you, Michael. You are the Secretary of Defence of the UK British military. And we require you to assist us to raise this flag on your ship mast in the treaty grounds. If not, then we have no option but to engage the Russian Federation, because we are the 59th state of the Russian Federation. If all fails with you in Britain, because you're still liable with this flag in Westminster, with us in contract still since 1835 with the King of England. And that's where the Admiralty of all the commerce came from that period of 1830 to 1837. We still apply those laws as extant, fixed institute law in Westminster Parliament, while it's still there. I'm coming there to meet you there to re-establish this flag on William Yard, King William IV estate land in Devon Port, England. And the sheriff, which I am, of the county here in Auckland, and the county there in Devon, England. We raise this flag beside King William's memorial statue and my own memorial Moai statue in Queen Elizabeth's Great Court in London. I want to re-establish that back to King William Great Court in London, because the Queen is in conflict with us now, with her business here on our land, contradicts and threatens our titles with TPPA and John Key terrorists. We label them as terrorists because they are mixed up in terrorism, which we can see quite plainly now. We haven't used this flag yet. It's going to fix the Admiralty part of all the carnage that's going on in the world today. Some form of Admiralty we're going to get audited and investigated in Britain. I already know that we have all the information on Facebook since 2008, before the Lisbon Treaty was signed. Michael, and your Navy commanders, Sir George Zimbalist, I've written to, and also Sir Nicholas Horton, Chief of the Defence, Army, and Chief of the Defence itself, I've written to as well. I have them on my website and also on my Facebook sites as proof of claim that we are who we say we are, the natives, in partnership with you, our legal, lawful business, still intact. So, that's my email to you today, Michael, and to your government and David Cameron, the House of Commons. We are MP of the House of Commons, that we have a legitimate title to this land and every other Commonwealth land in the world where this flag is gone. It has been sitting on the Ocean Monarch ship on its rung for a long, long time. And I believe that the British, the New Zealand government, the Canadian government, the Australian government, and the Pope, and the Rothschilds banks are using this flag. If so, the bill of 970 million trillion pound note goes against a whole lot of them for not disclosing information to us, the legal partner of King William IV, and his laws that put this together and the Bank of England Act and the Pound Note Act are our levy debtor instruments against every living soul that has affected our native title and taken advantage of indigenous people in the world with this Irish and English and Scottish title holding documents that I'm administering here with my chiefs, Hapu, Taumata, elders, and Kingi Taurua, my learned friend, who I represent on Te Tii Marae and his Taumata. I also represent the other hapus around the country who have not got the instruments, the documents, the doctrines of discovery titles, the Moai statue titles, memorials, and King William's memorials. I speak for him, the King of England, the King of Devon, the King of Hanover, the King of Ireland, the King of Aotearoa, Nutireni, New Zealand and Pacific Islands, the King of the Commerce, King of the Commonwealth world. So, you see, Malcolm, you see, we have a original title to these lands. Michael, Fallon, we have the original titles through the Moai statue of East Island, right through the Pacific Islands, and you need to talk to us. Don't talk to the iwi, they're not the right owners. The trustees on Te Tii Marae are not the real owners. They have been there standing in for the Hapu, no more. And Ngāti Whātua in Auckland have barred the Prime Minister from going on their marae since signing the TPPA threat instruments. So, because it's their business, this is our business I want to do with you. British, one more time, the Navy here in New Zealand, John Martin, you haven't replied to me yet. A letter I sent to you last week. I haven't got a reply from you yet. So that's just telling me something. Ignorance and silence is not going to work. And the police, full disclosure, I want to see how you're going to get out of this one with Cook Street. 77 Cook Street, we're going to seize it, Michael, and we're going to seize the treaty grounds and all that land of TB3 block, TT blocks, Waitangi blocks. I've got all the titles here. I've got the original titles to Auckland and the East Coast and Hawke's Bay here, with the Manukau Land Company in Scotland. And also now, the Pope is playing around with this flag and playing around with this 8-point star, including the Governor-General of New Zealand sporting this 8-point star. You're a threat to us and your business. You are usurping and stealing our titles. Jerry Mateparai Andrews. You're a St. Andrew's Church, Maori. You see? Michael, there's fraud going on here on my land. There's corruption on 61 Cook Street, 77 Cook Street, Auckland, on my land. And I'm one of the original owners of these lands, and the whole country for that matter, with the Moai statue memorial that none of anyone can refute. Michael, if you notice on my Facebook sites, 66 of them, over 700 videos on YouTube, over 3,000 Twitters, you'll notice no one's saying a thing. Is that the fashion of the Queen is to say nothing in a court of law where they're using fiat money, which is a fraud, and using fake names on titles. Now, we're going to bring that out in this disclosure form. It's very serious. That's what starts wars. It's because not honest. Like America and Israel, not honest. They can't talk straight like Donald Trump. Can't say a straight thing, straight to your face. I'm challenging anyone with a title, Michael, online, right in front of everybody. Everything that the judge gets, everybody already knew what the answer is going to be. There's nothing to inquire about. There's nothing for the judge to look for. It's all online. You see? I'm not going to let anyone hide in front of Moai's God's truth. He's God's face. And that's all we need. We didn't need a church and a whole lot of priests and bishops playing around with politics, making the most money in the world, using somebody over advantaging them. They're taking advantage of weak people. Michael, that's what I want to say about Moai. Moai does not carry guns, shoot people, or tell lies. You see? So that's all I wanted to say in this video today, was to express from the chiefs here, and all the indigenous people of the world, for that matter, that we are taking our lands back with our own instruments of a king. We are the kings to talk. We are the kings to talk. Admiralty and everything the king put together is our business. Not the queen, the king. The queen is everything fraud and everything in a court that the judge cannot talk straight. You can't say who somebody is without putting capital names, capital letters, and hiding the truth. You see, we don't do that in a common law court of King William IV. Okay? So, once more, this is once more to all the people watching for a long time now, what I've been saying about the law. The New Zealand law is designed to be broken by none other than the police themselves. They have their private businesses, at least 14 private businesses. I want to find out where they get their authority from. I want to find out where Natalie Flower-Dew Brown, detective, got her authority from to arrest me in this house, with this flag here, flying in the back. Michael, I notice that you have made a deal with John Key and signed up contracts with him. You see, which side are you on in the Britain? John Key's fake title, or us, the original title and a king? Right? And what's the Queen doing fighting up against us and leaving everybody in the open slather with Obama killing anybody to keep power? We have an offer coming in from Russia and Sunakura. Open the Maori government the same time, the 4th of February 2016. She's already sacked Anane Satanan, Governor General here, before, with me, Michael. And Doug Hodaki stopped John Key from being sacked from me. You see, I put the documents in front of Anane Satanan to sack him while they carried on going. When they opened Parliament up. John Key did that, opened Parliament up illegally. You see, so you're still all operating illegally against your own laws. That's the part I can't understand with why Britain has left these pirates to run this country for us. No longer do we want them to run it. That's what I'm saying. we're taking our country back, Michael Fallon. We're taking this country off John Key because it's for elite people, not us, the New Zealand people. All those people, I said, Michael, I put all these statements online. They're real. I'm charging £1 trillion per state agent of the Queen and all her subjects who even vote for her, breaking these laws of ours with King William IV and their flag of Admiralty jurisdiction. You see, our determination is self-running ourselves as a government. Has already been passed on Te Marae again and again and again, but this time officially on the 4th, before John Key signed his TPP agreement at Sky Tower, of all places, a gambling place. You're going to gamble this country, not anymore. This is our native country. He hasn't bought it out. He's been selling it with his Maoris. He created the word Maori and the Maori Land Court to sell off Maori lands, not Moai lands, Maori lands. So Moai is stepping in here with their Hapu, Michael, because we have not sold any land. It's been leased and we are terminating the lease. Okay, I'll just let you know on this video in front of the whole world, watching, because you've been watching my videos of who I am and what I do in my profession as real estate and also land investigation as a private investigator and native assessor, creditor of our own pound notes that you see online. Okay, those pound notes, Michael, are our levy debtor instruments that I want to talk to you about and pay the military the amount of money for 10 years to recover all that money with ANEX Limited debt collectors in Britain, who we are paying to recover that money. Everything stolen from us and the flag, and broken our laws. They have created treason. The Queen has created treason. John Key has created treason. And the Governor-General has created treason against us, the native. Okay, so I'm here representing my Cosgrove Irish family, who have the title to this 8-point star, and the King William IV is the King of Ireland, and this 8-point star that belongs to us. That is our title, Michael. It is nobody else's title. That is our title. This is our title to the whole Commonwealth, because the Pope is using this 8-point star, Prince Charles is using this 8-point star, the Queen is using this 8-point star, and so are we. The Governor-General here, and Anne Satanan, and before Jerry Mataparai Andrews, is sporting this 8-point star, which is our business. That is our business of the world. The New World Order is our business. To recover it with the British military. If you're not there for us, you're there for the Queen. We have no option but to engage the Russians to help us to recover everything that's been stolen through the Queen. She has been wrong. She has been devious to dupe everyone and taken advantage of us, all the indigenous people in the world. She has taken advantage of, and she has gone against us. She has betrayed us, and this flag is a declaration of war. Michael, this is a declaration of war flag. It's already been out Our people have already declared war, and it's expired. The contract is expired. It's in default now, Michael. This flag and King William's title prevails over the Queen's titles, as she has committed crimes of church and state. Okay, so she gets the bill, and everyone gets the bill of 970 million trillion pound notes, and all that gold that's missing, the Swiss undo, all the gold that's hidden shall be recovered. And we are using our pound note as the levy debtor instrument of fraud and corruption to recover everything that has been taken right through the well. So you see, Michael, we have a big audience of people to start our own business right now in New Zealand. This is where the house of cards will fall from Cook Street, and there's nothing the police can do other than go to court and find out who is lying and covering up the corruption and fraud land titles. These are our lands. It's not for anybody to say not so unless you go to court with a land title. You've got to have a land title put up against the Moai's land titles and origins. You see, so they can't come up with that. You lose. That's why they can't do it. And I want that land back, Cook Street, and all those 40 people billed Michael Fallon. They've committed crimes. They all conspired to defraud me and the public of New Zealand, who are the straight common law people. Okay, so the Pope has destroyed all trusts and corporations except ours. He can't touch ours. He can't touch the king titles and the native title with his flag. It's locked. Just as well our ancestors were smart enough to hold fire for 181 years. Michael, 181 years we've held his flag. This year, on the 28th of October 2016, is the celebration day of this flag. 181 years exactly. The king is with us. Long live the king. King Ernest Augustus is the rightful king of King Ernest Augustus the First. King Ernest Augustus the Fifth is alive and well in England, is our king, that I nominate into Westminster and Britain to pull out of the EU Parliament forthwith under the flag of Admiralty sovereignty, jurisdiction and commerce. Okay, did you hear that? Did you hear that, what I just said? This is what happened up at Waitangi. It's all online, maipowerhouse.com. Go and have a look at that website. You'll see all these documents are going on that site, and the videos on that page at Titi Marae, Taumata. Type Taumata, Taumata, in Facebook, in the search column. That site will come up on Moai. Just put Moai, Taumata, and it'll come up. Okay? You'll see the proof of claim. That is our claim to this whole well order that the Pope has stolen. He has stolen those memorials from Africa. He has stolen the pyramids history. He has stolen all those artifacts that are not there. God didn't say put them in Rome. The same in England. Stolen our Moai statue, 1868. Queen Victoria stole the first Moai statue from my family, the Wanoa people of Aotearoa, Tahiti, and Rapanui, Tahiti, from my family. The Royal Tahitian family of Wanoa people. And Mokanui here on the east coast on my land blocks who are taha, Hapu, chief. That's my land blocks. Okay, now we're having a reunion on Easter for the Wanoa people. There's a notice that's just come out today. Michael, we're having a family gathering to establish this title to the East Coast, Te Pito, Rapanui to Mokanui on our land blocks. The Māori is on that land blocks, the spirit of the Sun Ra on our land block at Te Pito. Okay, so we're going to be talking with our Wanoa people and our family here before I go to Rapanui to join them up there, and to Africa to join them up there with our bloodline. Blood to Tahiti, to Rarotonga, to New Zealand, Aotearoa, East Cape, to Ireland, Cosgroves and Cosgraves, Scotland, Rogan, England. That's my family. The Rogan judges, the Cosgrove lawyers. Okay, Michael, my friend Jamie Anna Marie Patrick Stewart is the Stewart family in England and Scotland, and also the Patrick family from Ireland. The 8-point star that I'm putting together, that history and the original mana spirit in the rock formations is our business with Ireland. Okay, so that story has been hidden for many years. Not anymore. That's our title. That we put these documents together of instruments against any other threat in the world. Our history and ancestral inheritance re-established back where we belong, in the power that was given to us and stolen and conquered by others who are less intelligent enough to do what we do best. Okay, Michael Fallon, Right Honourable Michael Fallon from Britain, UK, House of Commons. That's my clear message to you, and to David Cameron, and to the military, that we are your partners. We have always been your partners, but you have been silent and taken matters into your own hands. That's got into a mess now with people you have invaded and made them homeless and driven them off their lands so that you can have their lands. No, they're going to get their lands back. It's not right that you can take force on another people's. That law is no longer applicable, and we don't want any of those laws here on our native lands, or any native land for that matter. We are going to change the way our lands have been administered illegally for their own common good, not ours, and the people who want to live normal lives, not forced and chipped and driven around as slaves and dogs. Okay, so that's what's happening here with TPPA. There's no place for you here on these lands, or any indigenous lands for that matter. They are the owners. The natives are the owners of their lands. The king was here for the natives. The queen was here for you people, the elite, that have robbed everybody blind. Okay? I got nothing against business. It's just the way you do it, and the way you're saying it. Judges are no escape for saying something they don't really mean and portraying beneficiaries when they're not beneficiaries. They're acting in our place. No more. You're not going to use the Admiralty. That's our business of Admiralty. We'll use the Admiralty the right way the king wanted, not your way of pirating, because this is a pirate's flag. we're going to use a pirate flag on pirates, Michael. We're going to use the pirate flag that was given to us to go right around the world, free passage with this black strip around that red cross in the middle, as your protectorate from Britain to us. You are obligated to protect our business. We're starting our business right now from the 4th of February 2016 on Te Marae with those Taumata chiefs and their Maori government. Call it what you like. Moai Commonwealth government is already in place. The Moai King William Commonwealth government of the world is already in place with this flag. It is an authority higher than anyone in the world to go free passage through the world in 250 countries. Michael, that's where I'm taking it as ambassador of King William on his land blocks in England, William Yard. Okay, so I want you to open that up for me when I come there, that I'll be coming there to raise this flag with those people who are waiting for me, the ordinary common law court people, and the county sheriff. That's what I am, and others who are joining us there to run their own country and not someone else from somewhere else. That's what John Key is with his firm. You people in New Zealand don't realise. Listen to me. Listen. I've been around for a long time. I know land titles. I know who got them from. I know where they came from, how they were put together, and what for. They were put together for money from the bank, loans. That's what they did, so that you can buy and sell lands. Well, we have the legal right with this flag to terminate all the leases of those titles of Admiralty, because the Pope destroyed them. By the 16th of July, there will be no more mortgages. We'll have this flag to cover the whole world. I'm making this public announcement to the world today, and every other time I have made this statement, that this flag is a continuing King's flag of Admiralty mortgage lien and mortgage levy debtors instrument over anybody in the world from Britain and wherever else we go. It's fixed. It is fixed. We're shifting it to Devon, into the courthouse there as a King's Bench Court, in the closest one, Plymouth, and then straight around the world from there, on King William's property, land, holdings, under the flag of Admiralty. Court-martial law. Okay? That's all I want to say. I'm going to write to the Chief of Defence, Sir Nicholas Horton. Expect an email from me. It is online. All my letters are online so that everyone reads what I write, and it's recorded and witnessed by over 1.5 billion people on Facebook every time it rolls over. So no one's going to hide from Moai. Michael, no one's going to hide from Moai, God's truth, law, okay, and spirit. That's what's missing in the Queen. It's been made to corrupt and defraud those laws. Okay, so that's all I want to say today, is that I'm deadly serious in making these announcements and statements right in front of the world, and the courts, judges and lawyers and barristers watching, and politicians watching me make these statements as proof of claim. If you have any issues, please put it online in front of me. Otherwise, it's declared and proclaimed as the truth of what I say is law, becomes law if it's not challenged. Okay, so from 77 Cook Street, to your landowners. My barrister, I'm expecting to get a writ from the judge to seize that land and every bit of your property going back into the Moai King William Trust that belongs to all the people in the world who joins as members of that trust to make claim to it. With the British military, at the present time, they are the beneficiaries of that estate under this King flag. Okay, not the Queen, the King's Bench Court, Bank, Pound Note, Law of Westminster, Acts of Parliament from 1830 to 1837. That's the law I am using as a sheriff. The Hanging in Chains Act, the Execution Acts, all those acts to bring people to justice. We can carry on using those laws when the Pope has destroyed your Admiralty. This one prevails. His canon law, his courier law, his civil law, his Admiralty law are all gone. Okay? Those laws are gone. And this government is still using them, Michael. They're still using, they're ignorant, because every other taxpayer in this country that follows them are ignorant of the law itself. Okay, so that's all I want to say. And thank you for watching, people who are supporters. Thank you very much here and around the world, and more people who are seeing sense. You can join us because the King is the safest place to be. The King, and whatever we recover, you make claim to, because we have our other projects sitting in the wings of commerce, ready to go. As soon as we recover Cook Street, we will recover every other piece of land in the world, the 66 million acres that the Queen says she owns. We'll also recover every other title that has usurped this Admiralty Court-Martial flag. Okay, so that's really what I wanted to say, apart from thank you very much to Michael Fallon for answering my email, and I redirected it back to your private email address so that you get it and you can read through it. And please contact me so that I can bring our chiefs together at the Marae in Waitangi for a meeting with you in the museum, the new museum, and also the flag. We want to be there with you at the flag staff and the flag masts to raise this flag. We need you there to raise this flag with us, or prepare to raise it, put it that way, right, with the Navy, the British Navy. We need you here. You are welcome to come on to the Rangitukia land blocks, Hapu 7B, and meet our Hapu chiefs there, and me, to bring the military there and establish security in the Pacific Islands from that area and the Antarctic regions under our flag, sovereign jurisdiction of Admiralty, law of the sea. The landlords of England apply, and the pound note is on a par with the pound note of the Rothschild banks. We shall use our pound note in authority of a king. I'm here as a surrogate king, William IV, sheriff of that organisation in Te Tii Marae and the Waitangi Marae in Waitangi, Bay of Islands, Northland, New Zealand, and Kingi Taurua, the chief there, whom just spoke to me today. Kingi, to you. I will have a meeting with you at some stage as soon as we get an answer from the British Navy Sir George Zambalis, and the Chief of Defence, Sir Nicholas Horton, and also the MP for the House of Commons, the Right Honourable Michael Fallon. So that's all today. Thank you very much, people. We shall see you later, and have a good evening. Bye for now.